Hello everybody, back with race 2 from the Infinite GT Manufacturer Series Lobby 1. So race 2 takes place immediately after race number 1, so we do 2 races a night, and the second race every night is the reverse grid one. The format you should be very familiar with by now. So we're focusing on Thundercat at the moment because he has the pole position for this race, with him finishing last into Lagos. Quick flick through the grid, we've got James Harben in second in the Audi, expecting to be about 10th by the time we get to T1. Nikolaidis in third, so yeah. Has 91, fourth for Sirocco. Sirocco probably won't get off the line that well. That gives me a great opportunity to make some spaces up from the start, because the Audis, basically the German cars up ahead, won't get away very well. Mach 36, outstanding race for him last time out, just pipping me on the last lap, you little bugger. He's in 6th, we've put him at pot in the Alpha alongside him. Suspect 97 and the Mercedes lines up in 8th, with Pav 46 in 9th. Behind them is Bobby, who had a good time out last time into Lagos, and he's punished for his success by starting near the back in this one. So is Fat Pickles Bro, who no-stopped his way to a second place finish in that Subaru. And then we got Tricky Tree 74 in the Audi. So we'll see just how far back Tricky Tree is when this one gets underway. Let's see what's going on in this one. So this is the Yamaha, Giwa and Miyabi layout. Not the reverse way, just the normal way. You can see that James Harben, you've saw a peek of him, he's getting absolutely swallowed up already by Nikolaidis and myself. I've actually managed to get a better start than Nikolaidis. The McLaren is probably a slightly better starter than that Toyota is. The two Alphas running quite wide. And then we got the Mercedes of Suspect going down the inside of Has 91 down into T1 as well. Oh, he's having to hang it around the outside now because the Sirocco's fighting back. So it's all kicking off down here for this, but Suspect's got that one done. I go wide to I was going to say to let James through then, but in fairness, that genuinely just made a mistake. Then a little bit of contact between Nikolaidis and James Harben. Sees James Harben lose some speed. Bobby and Suspect are trying to tag team him then. Bobby gets the better run out. Suspect goes for the dive down the inside. Good move by Suspect, actually does make it stick on the inside, so it was a good move by the Mercedes driver to get himself into 5th place. James Harben now in 6th after that little indiscretion. Pav 46 7th, then you got the 2 VWs. Tricky Tree's made a good start from the back, he's climbed 2-3 places up from last, yeah, 2-3. Pot somehow finds himself 12th and last. Meanwhile, Mr. Thundercat 2RS leading away from the start like he has done. The Subaru does start well. You got myself with Nikolaidis just behind. Didn't want to hold Nikolaidis up too long, in all brutal honesty. There's not really much point. That Toyota is a lot better around here than the McLaren will be. So he's probably going to get me one way or another, but I was at the same point trying to give my teammate a little bit of a chance and back him up into Bobby a little bit, so Bobby's at least got some chances behind him. And we got a lot of fighting going on back here. James Harben's lost further places to Pav 46 by the looks of things. 2 VWs are working quite well together. Mach 36 giving Has a little bit of a shove up the line. Fat Pickles Bro trying to get his way through the grid now. He's going for a move down the inside. No, backs out of it. Tricky Tree on the inside. Then in that Audi's going to have the power going up the main straight. Speaking of the main straight, the top guy is unchanged for the time being. Just have a look on board. Nikolaidis just got a lot better grip than I have. And through the S's, you can't really overtake in the S's. It's very brave if you do go for a move through here. But down into the long sweeping left-handers and move. You can see I'm going defensive there. I'm still wanting to bring Bobby into play. But Nikolaidis is just able to drive around the outside. He's got some superior grip. But I do at least just try and defend that one. Again, just desperately trying to keep Bobby in the race at this point. Nikolai gets on the brakes where he's going to make this one move on the outside. The outside turns to the inside though for the next corner, so that's a great move by Nikolai to get that job done. Lovely overtake there for the Greek into second place. But that has brought Bobby back up towards us, giving him a little bit of breathing space to Suspect. Suspect's got Pav to worry about. Those two fighting for 5th place at the moment. Tricky Tree's up to 8th. For attempts at has 91, finds himself right at the back of the field now. Potts recovered in the opening laps. Back up to 10th after he was 12th halfway through lap number 1, but just goes off wide there in the Alpha. The Alpha very twitchy. But Pot probably not too used to this car, needs to get used to it sharpish, because this is quite a long championship, and these are two drivers, him and Pav, that early on I would tip. What you've missed out, Bobby got past me. Obviously it's a teammate, so I'm not going to put up any sort of resistance at all. And if Bobby wants to go past, oh, there's been an incident. So this was something let's go back a little bit further. So just go on board with me. Coming on down to the hairpin. So I've got a Mercedes right behind me. So he goes to the inside. That means I have to give him the room. I get there and then get a little bit of a shove, and basically then get shoved off track. What is sportsmanship, ladies and gentlemen? Let's go and have a look on board from Suspect's point of view. Yeah, just turns into me. That then basically gives me dirty tyres. Obviously very, very angry at that point as well, so wasn't driving to the best of my abilities, and that is the end of my race. But that does promote everyone else up a spot, so every club and all that, you know. So the opening couple of laps, things should start to settle into a bit more of a rhythm now. Bobby's still trying to put Nikolaitis into some pressure. Tricky Treat is having a great race so far, up to 5th place, just got past Pav 46. Just got that move made with the power of the Audi down the main straight. The Audi, if I haven't mentioned it before, probably one of the more OP cars in terms of its outright speed, but has a major Achilles heel in with it being FF. The tyre wear can be atrocious, so there's a lot of tyre management going on in that car just to make it to the end. So he's probably not driving it to its full potential. Tricky Tree will have to manage his lines and pace and everything else, probably a lot more than a lot of other drivers will have to think about it, but he is in a car that can deliver. Pot up to 9th. I'll say up to 9th. He's only up to 9th because I've left the race. Knowing Potter at this stage, what he's probably doing is saving a ton of fuel, and then he gets a lot of his overtakes done just by having more efficient pit stops. He tends to do that in stint 1 and then goes very aggressive stint 2. That was his strategy a lot last time. Let's see if that's what plays out this time. Top 3, not much doing. Nikolaitis is reeling Thundercat in and is within striking range now. Bobby is starting to lose sight of Nikolaitis just a little bit. There's a lot of fighting going on behind him. Tricky Tree's closing up to the back of Bobby now. Pav and Suspect. Suspect, of course. We'll see if he shoves Pav off in this corner instead. No, he doesn't. No, there's none of that this time around. James Harben. Mutt's got past James Harben somewhere, I think. James was probably doing the whole management thing at this stage. I think that's probably the best thing for him to be doing. Let's look him from the back of the Thundercat mobile. So he's got Nikolaitis chasing him down. About 7 minutes into this race now. About a quarter of the way through. So tyre wear will start to be a thing. As Nicoladis with that little Toyota just able to drive up the inside. But Thundercat will of course use the brake to his advantage, and will use the slipstream given off the back of that Toyota to bring him further up the field. Meanwhile, Bobby now coming under a swift attack from Tricky Tree. Let's jump on board with the Audi. You can see how smooth his inputs are. He's just very careful not to overstress the tyres. He's about to give him a lot of stress out down into this braking zone. Using a lot of engine braking to get that move made, and does manage to get Bobby eventually. Bobby's still there. No, there we go, that's a move paid for Tricky Treat. Lovely overtake there. That has put Bobby under a little bit of pressure from Pav 46 as well. Pav will be looking to follow Tricky Tree through. Bobby of course will want to prevent that as much as possible, so the Alfa Romeo way more nimble. The McLaren has it on speed. In terms of straight line speed, the McLaren's a way better car than the Alfa is. In terms of grip handling, fuel consumption, all that sort of stuff, the Alfa is superior. So a nice move by Pavla down the inside. It's going up to 4th. So not a great race for the McLaren team this time round. One car's retired and one is falling backwards through the field. Fat Pickles and Potter having a little bit of a ding dong as well. Potter for the time being defending to him. Looks like Mutt 36 just made a little bit of a mistake there coming through the S's. Just gets himself tucked in ahead of Suspect. As we see Potter try to make a move on Suspect. Suspect just gets his braking wrong and gives another car a whack off the track. That's Mutt, the unfortunate recipient of the one this time. This time Suspect does let him carry on in front of him, so sportsmanship +1. Gives James Harben a bit of a break up to 8th. Now he's going to be chasing Fat Pickles Bro down. We do wonder if Pickles is going to try and no stop again this time. We'll see what happens. I've actually not watched this race, so I have no idea, as I wasn't in it. I've absolutely no idea what happens. I see Tricky Tree and Pav getting pretty close. I was waiting for Tricky Tree to actually reel Thundercat in a little bit more. It looks like Thundercat up ahead is actually doing pretty damn. His lap times are consistent as anything, at 22.5, 22.8, 22.9, sorry, 27.9. So he's doing brilliantly on his he's keeping pace with Nicoladis, definitely. Tricky Tree behind him is occasionally going quicker. He's dipped into the 26s once, but not really, other than a couple of attempts here and there, not really dragging him in. Pav 46 is hanging with him quite easily. Bobby starting to drop off the pace now. Started in the 27s, then 28s, then 29s. The drop off in that McLaren looks quite severe. Potter just appears to be going quicker, having just set his fastest lap of the race. Same can be said for Fat Pickles Bro. James Harben's got Bobby syndrome. He's just going a little bit slow as the race progresses. Mutt's just gone quickest. Suspect's gonna pit, yes he is. So we're about 12.5 minutes in, so pit stops, yeah, if you want to undercut, now's probably the time to do it. You can have really old tyres at the end of the race though, so the sensible choice is to wait the 2.5 minutes it takes you to get on the track and pit pretty much bang on the 15-minute mark halfway through the race. We watch, he's just gone bored with the Alfa Romeo, which is pretty much all roll cage, look. He's trying to go around the outside of Tricky Tree here. He's managing it. That's some great driving by Pav if he does that. That's brilliant driving from those two. Plenty of space given between them. Pav 46 does get that move made. The tyres on that Audi will be starting to feel a little bit worse for wear. The Alfa's really good at saving them, and that might have been a contributory factor, but nonetheless great racing from both of them. Not an ounce of contact even likely during that overtake. We see Pot try and give Bobby some hassle. Let's look back from the McLaren driver's perspective. Podiment Pot will be aware that Pav has just managed to get past Tricky Tree and will want to follow suit. Just look at how fast Alpha just rails up on the back. The grip on that thing mid-corner is phenomenal. Bobby's having to really push the limits of that car's grip just to stay relatively competitive with the Alfa Romeo. Podiment Pot's going to try an outside overtake as well. He's going to try and replicate what his colleague did. He drifts it as well. Oh, great overtake by Pod. I want to look at that again. Let's go on board. So yeah, he just drives right up to the back of him, but keeps the momentum in the corner. Quite importantly, keeps the momentum there. Bobby is still there. A little bit of correction halfway through the corner. Gets the job done. That is a lovely move by Podiment Pot there and gets him up to 5th place. He'll be trying to chase Tricky Tree down now, but I'd imagine a lot of these cars are going to come into the pits at the end of the lap. I say a lot because we might have the cheeky no-stop attempt if it's remotely possible. Fat Pickles rolling up on the back of Bobby and Podiment Pot. James Harbin's just trying to drive with Mort. Suspect has pitted now, so he is right at the back of the field. Nicolaitis opts not to pit. Thundercat opts not to pit. We are bang on 15 minutes, so whether we're going to see anyone come in or not, I'm going to see Bobby dive into the pits. I'm going to see Fat Pickles Bro dive into the pits, so he's definitely not. But look at the amount of fuel Fat Pickles Bro saved, 47% as opposed to 28% that Bobby's got left. Nearly double the amount of fuel remaining in that Subaru, and he's going to get a massive leap. And absolutely, he's going to come out in 8th. Bobby's going to come out a few seconds behind him, with the potential Bobby of getting caught by a suspect, just because of how effective Fat Pickles Bro's been at saving fuel in that stint where he went to James Harbin at just the wrong time. They just clattered with the wall. I think some of these guys might be trying to extend their stints. Who knows? For the time being, Nicolaitis with a convincing win so far, as we just drift ourselves over the halfway point of the race. So I wonder if we're going to see any pit stops now. Nicolaitis opts not to, Thundercat's going to, so is Pav. Tricky Tree's going to as well, so is Podiment Pot, so everyone piling in the pits. Look at the different fuel amounts that are being saved. The Alpha's really OP on the fuel saving there. Thundercat in the Subaru only have 16% remaining, so not a lot as well. James Harbin comes into the pits 30%, so he's done quite well. Let's see where everyone emerges then. Thundercat's come out in 4th. Mutt 36, who's not yet pitted. Let's have a quick check on his situation. Yeah, his front tyres are absolutely goosed. He's now into the 29s. It's Fat Pickles Bros in 3rd, but I dare say this is the next 2nd. Mutt's probably going to have to come into the pits. Thundercat, so the 2 Subarus in 3rd and 4th respectively. Fat Pickles Bros done an astounding job to get that car pretty much on the back of the grid there. Thundercat did an outstanding job in his first stint as well. He's now just going to keep up that positive momentum. Pav 46, who's had a great race so far as well, is well and truly in the mix for a podium. Plenty of time left in this race yet. Has 91, who has not yet pitted. Podiment Pot emerged in 7th after the pit stops were all done and dusted. Tricky Tree came out in 8th. Bobby, who pitted a lap or so earlier, didn't have a great out lap, so unfortunately that meant for him the undercut wasn't as effective as it should have been. The other cars were able to equal his pace on their old tyres, and James Harbin is right down at the back, unfortunately. But again, the race is young. Nicolaitis now, 2 minutes 26.3 on old tyres. He's probably going to have to pit very soon for some fuel at least, but he will pit and then come out again in the lead. He's doing enough of a good job up there. Mutt 36 probably going to have to pit as well. He's keeping great pace though, to say he's on very shredded front tyres. He will undoubtedly lose a few places when he does so. That will hand second place over to Thundercat. Fat Pickles Bro and Pav will then want to get that, as we just see Has91 go off wide. He's going to have some muck on those tyres. It's going to make his grip levels a little bit poor through here. Yeah, that's telltale sign of just going straight on. Gets out of Bobby's way though, Has, so again just doing the right thing at the right time. Nicolaitis has pitted. He indeed does come out with the lead still intact. Thundercat though is going to be trying to chase him down. Mutt36 is in the pits. Let's see where he emerges. It's going to be 6th, maybe 7th, 8th, 9th is passing, so Mutt's come out in 9th, but it looks like James is going to get past him. Yeah, so Mutt36 now got quite a lot of work to do, but importantly for Mutt, he's got the freshest tyres now and he can really put the power down in that Sirocco. And it's FF for 9th place at the minute, with 8th not too far up the road as well, so that one is not over yet. Tricky v Potter kicking off once more. These two drivers on fresh tyres with enough fuel to go to the end of the race. Did spot something happening up ahead, but it was a bit of a false alarm. I thought Pav was going for a move. Tricky's had to defend to the inside. Potter just needs to get a nose in, which I think he's now. Tricky's just been able to defend that one. He keeps that 5th place for the time being. Skipping up then, Thundercat and Fat Pickles Bro just trying to work together as Team Subaru just to keep the Alfa Romeo behind them. Pav will be looking for any chink in the Subaru armour at this stage to see where he can exploit that Alphas. Opinus just tries to get the exit speed off that so he can get a nose on the inside, and he's just about managed that. So Pav, it's a lovely camera angle to see the overtake. Unfortunately we've not really managed to get that, but Pav's managed to get that move up into 3rd. He will now try and do the same to Thundercat. But Fat Pickles Bro, knowing him, he will be hatching a plan to get that place back again. Tricky and Potter's kind of simmered down just a tad. Bobby's in a bit of a race on his own now, so his suspects James Harben and Mutt still battling over 9th place. Mutt has just got him back at the hairpin, tries to show him wide, but James just tucks him behind. And Has91, after his off last lap, now finds himself in 11th and last place. Skip back up to the top and just see what's happening with Nicolaitis, who is leading comfortably. You can see he's got a convincing gap over Thundercat in 2nd. Thundercat starting to come under attack from Pav46. Pav is just going to try and use the grip of the Audi to go around the outside. He's going to have to tuck himself in at this point. No moves can be made here, but again we've got some long sweeping corners that the Alphas are going to be really good at. It looks like he's probably just too far back to make a move right this second. Not too much braking happens down here, just to tap on the brakes to get some front end rotation going, and then you're away again. And down the hill is where the Alpha's opportunity is probably going to lie straight away. Thundercat doesn't feel immediately under threat, but Pav does send one down the inside. And again, testament to both drivers, they've got that done without an out to contact. It was a little bit of a send from Pav. Thundercat does defend it, keeps the inside line, defends that one brilliantly, does Thundercat. Pav took the opportunity though, and importantly both drivers kept it clean, which is what we like to see. Mutt then's driven right up to the back of Suspect and has made that look easy. Around the outside, James Harben's going to look to take advantage as well. I want to say it looks like the Suspect's not pitted, but I'm pretty sure he pitted early on to try and get an undercut. He did. Maybe he just didn't put enough fuel in, I'm not too sure, because he's got a quarter of a tank and 5 minutes remaining, so another couple of laps he might be okay on fuel. I think James Harben's overfueled, yeah he has. So for the time being, Mutt36 can get on with the job at chasing down Bobby, who's not too far ahead. Mutt now with some clear air can maybe reel in the McLaren driver. This battle for second though is where the action is. Jump on board with Thundercat just as he goes a little bit deep into the last chicane. Pav goes for the cutback, wants all that exit speed he can get. Does manage to get the drive on the Subaru, but the Subaru maybe just has a little bit more power. If it has, it's not showing it because the Alfa Romeo's managed to basically drive up the inside. Thundercat gives him the space. Pav says thank you very much, I will take second place. And up he goes. Now it is Toyota, Alfa, Subaru. With the Audi of Tricky Tree chasing down Fat Pickles Bro now. Pav has to go defensive there. Oh, that looked like a little bit of a dive from Potter. Let's have a look at that. Did he just have the Alpha overspeed that we've seen in effect a few times? He's going to be getting a lot of slipstream down here. He's on the brakes really well. To be fair, I feel like he just tried to get out of Tricky's way there. If he'd have stayed on his line, he'd have smashed right into the back of the Audi. Got to be honest, it looks like he just tried to chink out of the way and went for the gap that was there, really. So Mutt has got past Bobby. Oh, Bobby's spinned it, that's why. Let's just go on board with Mutt. Let's see what happened. Yeah, he just got his back wheel there. Mutt does well to avoid that. So Bobby's going to resume, but he's going to have James Harbin breathing down his neck. James does manage to get that held, but Bobby's braved it on the brakes and holds the inside line. Now turned into a bit of a scrap for 8th place. Mutt's able to get away in 7th. Unfortunately 6th place is quite a long way away, so he can pretty much scratch that one off, but he's going to want to build a gap to these guys behind, because Bobby, James and Suspect may well be coming for him. Nikolaitis has chinked in the fastest lap of the race so far at 2:25.9 in the race. So a good race from him so far. Meanwhile, a bit further behind, Thundercat looks like he's trying to get that move made on Pav. As far as it goes behind, not too much doing. No, nothing really happening there. See Tricky Tree go down the inside. Potter's going to try and be opportunistic and make that happen as well. That means Pickles just has to take avoiding action. Oh, we've got a spinner. Let's see what happened here. Let's just jump on board with Potter again. This is coming down to the hairpin, this. So Potter goes wide. I think what he's trying to do is a cutback. Fat Pickles Bro, there's just a little bit of contact on the apex. Typical racing incident, I'm afraid, looking at that. Bobby's leading away to James Harbin, using the slipstream of Mutt ahead to his advantage. Fat Pickles Bro is waiting up by the looks of things. He actually feels like he's responsible for that move there. That does give Tricky a little bit of breathing space up ahead. Pickles was waiting up. I saw a flash of lights from Potter, and then Pickles has just sped up again. So whether he took that flash of lights as a no, just carry on. I'm not too sure if these guys are in chat. I can't remember. I don't think Potter normally comes in chat. Couldn't possibly say. I do not know. Just check in on these guys. So Thundercat's defending really well to Tricky. It looks like they're gonna get around just in time to start another lap. It's a tricky. I was going to say if he bides his time we'll have another lap with it, but goes for the move down the inside anyway on the brakes. Gets that made. Pav will be loving this because them two fighting is music to his ears right now. Thundercat trying to fight this one on the outside. Both guys' tyres in pretty similar condition, so Tricky's doing well to look after them. Got to be honest. He's still up in the low 27s, so that's good news for him. Although Tricky now has the definitive inside line, this double apex right hand is been proven very popular for overtakes. A little bit of contact on apex, that could just be curb rebound. We've seen that happen a few times. The curbs at this circuit do throw you back off them at quite a force. You've seen it happen to Bobby, you've seen it happen to me as well. It can cause unwanted contact, and the contact physics in this game aren't the best at the best of times. So Mort, with that sort of, I did say that 6th place was off the cards for Mort. That was before 5th and 6th had a little bit of a coming together. Mutt's going to have a go at this, I think, into the last lap. He's going to try his best. He's got really good pace at the minute, Mutt 36. He's in the 26s. So he's lapping as quick as these guys can. I want to say he just got his braking a little bit wrong there. I don't think that was a dive for that position. If it was very opportunistic. Thundercat, I don't know why you've done that. Or do you think you've finished? Because the camera doesn't. You've got 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. No, you've still got another lap to go, mate. Fortunately for Thundercat, though, everyone behind him has finished, so that rescues him, I think, a little bit. That does indeed rescue him. So Fat Pickles Bro finished in 5th place. Pot finished in 6th. He just about held off Mutt in the end. MRC Bobby finished in 8th, James Harbin in 9th, Suspect in 10th, with Has91 in 11th. So 4 cars still running, 4 cars made it over the line in time. That first of those belongs to Nicolaitis, who's drove a great race, to be fair to him. He's controlled it from the start. Pav 46 been a very busy boy this afternoon. Thoroughly deserved second place, I feel. He's made some really good moves. Tricky Tree started pretty much from the back of the grid in an Audi, so from about a mile back on the grid. Again, nice controlled races, really managed his stints quite well as well. And Thundercat potentially out of fuel now, I think. Yeah, out of fuel. So he will have, yeah. But who cares, it's the last. He can just drive around with no, he's not going to get overtaken by anyone else. So that's it for race number 2. So of course there's 6 weeks in total. Interlagos and this one, Yamagiwa and Miyabi, both formed race week 1. Next week we strap ourselves into the Group 3 cars and we go to Catalonia and Fuji Short. So those 2 are the tracks for next week. So don't forget tuning in for those. I'm recording these videos way after this series is finished. I'm recording the content hopefully in bulk, and I'll schedule all the uploads to go. Hopefully that's kind of my idea anyway. Anyway, Nicolaitis wins the race. No surprise there then, he's had a great race so far. Pav 46 finishes in 2nd. Tricky Tree weaves it across the line in 3rd place. And Mr. Thundercat, you're an absolute dilbert for handbraking it across the line 5 seconds before the race finished. But it didn't matter, fortunately. He can limp that car home on minimal fuel at 50 miles an hour, like he's got a pit limiter on. So after week 1 is completed, we can have a look at where that leaves the Drivers' Championship. Predictably, Tricky Tree, Pav, Fat Pickles Bro propped that up me Robus Lingo right at the back. It's not a great start for me, but Bobby is representing McLaren up there in P4 look. So a good job there, and we go to the GT3s next. So the manufacturer's standings, predictably Alfa Romeo leading the way, but just by 2 points to Audi. Subaru representing well, as you can see there. So GT3s next, Circuit de Catalunya and Fuji. Tune in. Thank you for watching.